Now we're going to play around with a little bigger rational equation. See, this one has 3 terms in it. You've got a fraction on the left, a fraction on the right, and a number on the right too. So it doesn't matter how many terms you have. The important thing is making sure they all have equal denominators. And I'm just going to edit this one right here. I'm going to remind you that minus 9, that's just minus 9 over 1. And if I want the denominator to be equal there, I'm going to multiply this by a crazy 1. And that crazy 1 is omega minus 7 over omega minus 7. If you think about omega minus 7 divided by omega minus 7, I have no idea what omega is. But I know that this thing I just wrote here is equal to 1, so it's not going to change the value of anything. All right, so let's go ahead and rewrite everything. Okay, I have negative 8 omega over omega minus 7 equals negative 56 over omega minus 7. And this new fraction over here, negative 9 omega plus 63. Remember, that's a minus sign times a minus sign right here. Those are 2 minus signs, so they cancel out, become a positive. So I have negative 9 omega plus 63 over omega minus 7. And since all the denominators are equal, and this is an equation, I can just go through and cancel them all out. Okay, my favorite part of rationals equations, just making it easy. So now we have negative 8 omega equals negative 56 minus 9 omega and plus 63. Okay, I was just double checking my negative signs, but I think that's all good. Now, we want to get everything over to one side. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 9 omega to each side, and that just gets 1 omega over here. And the other thing I want to do is combine negative 56 and 63 together, and that gives me 7. So here's my answer. Omega equals 7. That kind of simplified nicely. But before we're done with it, remember we always check our domain restrictions. Now, what is our domain restriction? Take a look at this equation. Let's use a nice obnoxious color. Come here. See this denominator right here? There's only one type of denominator. Okay, these are both the same, so you don't need to worry about the other one. But that denominator tells you that whatever omega is, of all the things in the world, it better not be equal to 7. Because if that's true, then omega minus 7 would be 0, and we can't have that. But look at what our answer is. We already got omega equals 7, so we have a conflict here. And that means the solution we found is invalid, and this particular problem is a DNE. Now, it won't be like that every time. Sometimes you might get 2 solutions and one of them gets knocked out. Sometimes they'll both be okay, but sometimes you have no solution that works, so you just answer DNE.